Hello, everybody, Prego Expo audience. So excited to be here with you to talk about baby wearing, answer all your questions about carriers, about baby wearing, why we baby wear, how we baby wear, your different options for baby wearing. If you have any questions about anything, about the carriers that I'm showing you, baby wearing questions, whatever else you want to know, put them in the chat. That's the easiest way for me to see all of your questions. My name is Erin. I am an Ergobaby brand ambassador. I have been working with Ergobaby for just over 8 years. So I've been doing this for a little while. I have two kids of my own. They are now big kids, 9 and 11. But when they were young, I wore both of them into toddlerhood. So I'm coming at you with not only parent experience as a parent, but experience as somebody who's been doing this for a little bit. So please hit me with any questions that you have. There are no stupid or silly questions. I'm happy to answer anything. In this segment, I am going to talk more specifically about baby wearing, kind of general, why we baby wear, how we baby wear, the different types of carriers. And then if you want to know more about specific Ergo carriers, which I'll be demoing Ergo today, but if you want to go through like our whole lineup, I'll have you join me back in my booth after this segment just to kind of give you a little bit of an expectation of what we're going to carry today. So I'm going to show you while I talk about baby wearing our Omni carrier. That's our most versatile carrier. It's our most popular carrier. Talk a little bit about why we baby wear, how we baby wear. So if you have questions, please let me know. So this is a soft structured carrier. So you've got a few different types of carriers in baby wearing that you may have seen, or if you're not familiar with baby wearing, you may not have seen them. But your most kind of common or the most mainstream here for us are going to be your soft structured carrier, a wrap, which can come in a stretchy fabric or a woven fabric. And you have some different set of recommendations based on what kind of fabric your wrap is. So soft structured, a wrap, ring sling, and then sometimes you'll see like hybrid carriers or my dyes are still pretty popular, or something that has like a hybrid that has no waistband. So there's a few different out there, but kind of the main carriers that I see like in retailers and things like that are going to be your soft structured carriers, your wraps, and your ring slings. So at Ergo, we have soft structured carriers. We have some unique to us carriers, and then we have one stretchy wrap. If you're interested in more woven wraps and ring slings, our sister brand Tula has more, and they'll be live tomorrow. I can still answer any questions, but just letting you know that. So like I said, this is a soft structured carrier, which kind of it means what it sounds like. It's a soft fabric, but it has structure to it. So your waistband, your panel, your straps are all different pieces that have been sewn together to create that structure. That's going to give you more wearing positions and a longer wear time compared to like a wrap, a ring sling. You just can have a little bit longer weight limit or higher weight limit in this, which allows you to wear your baby for not more time each session, but for more time of their life. So I'm going to put it on like a newborn and talk to you about some of the benefits. When we wear a soft structured carrier, we're going to wear nice and high up on our waist. We want our babies to be in what we call a close enough to kiss position, meaning that when we put our chin down, it meets the top of their head. And that is for their safety, of course, also for their comfort. This carrier I'm demoing is our newest carrier. It's our Omni Deluxe. I saw somebody asked that. So I'm going to wear up nice and high on my natural waist. That's where I like to wear. Waistband should always be snug. Like I can obviously turn it around my body, but if I move, the carrier's not moving without me. I want it to be snug and stay moving with my body. So once I get to this point, I'm going to go ahead and put my baby in. And my demo doll is about 10 pounds. So about the size of like maybe newborn to 2 months, depending on how your baby comes out and grows. And for a newborn, we're going to wear in this parent-facing position always. This carrier and many others can do other positions like forward-facing away on your hip and on your back, but we need our babies to be sitting unassisted and tall enough that their head kind of clears the top of this carrier before we put them in those positions. So since my baby's a newborn, I'm going to demo that newborn carrier. How soon? I'm just going to pop through some of the questions. If I don't answer your question live after this, I will come back and respond to it. So just know I'm seeing all of them, and I'll get through as many as I can. So how soon can you use a carrier after you come home from the hospital? Unless your doctor has given you some kind of like lifting or carrying restriction, if you can hold your baby, you can use a carrier. So if there, in some instances, you may not be supposed to be holding your baby or something like that, you can use the carrier. If you do have a cesarean birth, a C-section, you may find that a carrier with a waistband, like a soft structured, is less comfortable than something like a wrap, or we have our Embrace carrier, which has a much softer and flexible waistband. That becomes personal preference. You may just find that it's more comfortable because it doesn't put the pressure on. Obviously, a soft structure carrier is not going to be worn as low as your incision, but it does put a little bit of pressure on the abdominals, which some parents just don't love right post-birth, especially post-C-section. For how many months can you use this carrier? So this carrier specifically that I'm wearing, the Omni carrier, goes from 7 to 45 pounds. So you're looking at birth into like 2 and 3 years old with this carrier. Embrace that I just picked up goes to 25 pounds. So it's closer to that 1 year kind of limit. And then same with wraps, they're at a 25 pound. And then if you get into woven wraps, they sometimes go into higher weight limits. Same with carrier companies that provide like toddler or preschool carriers, they can go into even higher weight limits than that 45 and get you into older toddlerhood and sometimes even preschool. So just reading through the questions, how can you tell when it's time to adjust or transition to different carrying position or carrying type? Some of that's going to be personal preference because like I said, this carrier, Embrace, the wraps, most of them start around 7 pounds and then are going to go up to whatever their maximum weight limit is. So you're looking at birth on up. For all of our carriers, we provide, I think, pretty easy to follow instructions. So for a wrap, you always just do one carrying position. It doesn't matter for a stretchy wrap like we have. You're always just going to do that one carrying position. In the carriers that do allow other positions, like I mentioned before, you're not going to do any world facing. So like no facing away, no hip, no back until your baby's sitting unassisted. So for most babies, that happens somewhere around 5 to 6 months. As far as like adjusting waistbands or adjusting this panel, like this carrier has Velcro on it. There are minimum height requirements. And then we also give instructions like we want to see the fabric on our carrier, no matter what kind of carrier you have, going from one knee to the other knee. So if that fabric starts to inch up baby's legs, you know that it's time to move out the panel. So those are just kind of some general guidelines. We have all of those things that I just shared on our website, on our YouTube, on our social. Something we offer at Ergobaby is what we call a baby wearing consultation or a fit check. So if you purchase one of our carriers, you can go online and schedule to meet with a brand ambassador or educator like myself, but one-on-one. So similar to what we're doing today, we would do a Zoom call, go over all the different positions. Does the fit look good? Are you comfortable? All those kinds of things. Is this the best one for wearing at home or when going outside? All of our carriers are good to use wherever you want to use them. So some people choose just to wear at home. Some people choose just to wear when they're on the go, but all of our carriers are going to be easy to use no matter where you are. Some people, wraps are one that some people prefer for home just because you are wrapping this big long piece of fabric. But one benefit of wraps is that you can pre-wrap. So you can wrap it around your body before you leave, get in the car, and then put baby in when you get there. So if you love a wrap, you can of course still use it out and about. You're just going to make those adjustments. So I saw there was a question about bigger bodies or different body sizes. So I'm plus size. As you can see, the carriers fit me very well. All of our carriers, we say, are one size fits most. So we don't have sized carriers. Our waistbands go all the way up to 52, 55 inches, depending on the carrier. We do provide a 10-inch extender is an option if you need it. Just as some reassurance, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, for over 8 years. And I mean this with full honesty when I say this. I have no reason to not. I've never not fit a carrier on a person. I have fit carriers on petite bodies. I have fit carriers on plus size bodies and all sizes in between. That's the beauty of a carrier that allows for so much adjustment. It's not sized. So you're going to be able to just adjust to your body. And the same if you're sharing with other caregivers. Now, you may find if you ask your friends or if you look on the internet, you watch YouTube videos, that some people will say like, oh, I am this type of body and I prefer this carrier for this reason. Like a lot of people like that the Omni adjusts in the front. I see a lot of people that are plus size or that have accessibility issues that prefer the front adjustment because a backpack adjustment may be a little bit more difficult. Some people prefer different materials or different patterns. So I always say baby carriers are kind of like blue jeans. They all serve the same function, right? They all are going to allow us to carry our babies, and you just have to decide what color, what fit, what cut, what fabric is best for you. And what's best for you may not be best for your best friend. And that's okay. And you just decide what's best for you. So there's a question. What is the recommendation for hip leg placement in carriers? I've heard of legs to rest in an M shape. Is that accurate? And do our carriers do that? So yes. So what we're going to look for in any carrier, so be it a soft structured carrier, something like the Embrace, a wrap, a ring sling, there's a few things we're going to look for. The first thing we're going to look for is, like I said before, that this fabric on the bottom is from knee to knee. So baby is supported from knee to knee, meaning they are sitting in that carrier. The next thing you're going to look for is that your baby's knees can hang freely. If your baby's knees are stretched and they can't hang freely, that panel is too wide for them. So if it is an adjustable carrier, you need to move it down. If it's not adjustable, then you need to see if like an insert or something like that is compatible. And if not, your baby may just not be big enough for that carrier. The other things that we're going to look for is that M position that was mentioned, which just means the knees are a little bit higher than the bottom. So you can think like a letter M. Our carriers do that pretty naturally. Babies do that pretty naturally, but just a simple hip rotation will get baby into that position. And then we want to see that baby has a nice curve to their spine. So we don't want to see baby so pressed up against parent or caregiver that their back is arched. And we don't want to see the hips rotated in a way that creates a straight back. We want to see those hips. So that means if I were to take this carrier off, my baby is in the same exact position as if I was supporting him with my arms. That is a natural position. Now, sometimes brand new babies like to do what I call frog legs. They like to really frog up. So it does require some stretching out of their body, but you're not stretching them further than their little muscles would allow. You're just making them kind of straighten their legs. Some newborns don't love that. So just know that if your baby is a little fussy or frustrated, it's likely just from the manipulation. It's not anything you're doing or the carrier's doing. You just need a minute, a bounce, walk to soothe them. And that is why some people like something like Embrace or a stretchy wrap that allows for a little bit more of that snuggliness, doesn't quite require so much stretching. And again, everything I'm telling you today is going to be personal preference, and I'm just giving you options. No one of these carriers is unsafe for the weight limits that is provided. So when I tell you that a newborn may not like to stretch out, that doesn't mean the Omni is not safe for them. It is totally safe for them. That's just what I've learned in my experience. Some people prefer that, and that is okay. And some people like something stretchier and snugglier. Personally, I like something stretchier, snuggly for like the first 3 to 4 months while my baby is still kind of in that newborn 4th trimester period. And then I like to move to a soft structured carrier because my baby gets a little more active. They get a little more curious. They get a little bit heavier. And I want something that provides a little bit more, a little bit less stretch. Actually, I don't want my baby to be able to stretch the carrier. I'm seeing lots of questions about the features of this carrier, so I'll just quickly run over those. It does come with a pouch. It does come standard with lumbar support. All of our carriers are machine washable, so they can go in the washing machine and then hang to dry. Also, for Ergobaby carriers, all of our carriers come with a warranty, so you're going to get that as well. I'm going to sneak up here and just scroll back a little bit so I can make sure I'm getting some of these questions. They're going quick. Is there a time limit that baby should be in the carrier? Not specifically. So what my recommendation to you is that as frequently as your baby is eating, check on them. So generally, most babies are going to give you some kind of cue before you even need to check on them, right? They're going to tell you they're hungry. They're going to let you know maybe they're uncomfortable, they need a diaper change, whatever. But if for some reason, if you're wearing and baby is just so snugly in there, they're just sleeping or they're resting and they're eating every 2 to 3 hours and you hit hour 3 and they are still just comfortably snoozing, I would check on them. Take the carrier down, wake them up a little bit, make sure that they eat, make sure they don't need a diaper change, make sure that you have eaten something, drink something. Do you need to use the restroom? Do you just need a break from carrying? If you get to that point and everything is good, keep wearing your baby. If you need to do one of those things and then put baby back on, then go for it. But you're not going to see like a set time recommendation because technically you're holding your baby, right? So there really is no time recommendation, but I would encourage you to check in regularly just so that you and your baby stay comfortable. If you're worried about being hot, I will tell you that obviously when you have another person on your body, it's going to get warm, it's going to get toasty, but the carrier does allow for a lot of airflow. If you really get sweaty or you get overheated easily, you may prefer a material that's really breathable, like a mesh material or a linen material, a bamboo material. Those materials are going to dry very quickly. They're going to let air flow easily. I always say they're not necessarily any temperature difference. I think even the canvas carriers are comfortable temperature wise, but they allow more of an airflow to go through. So if you like feeling that airflow, they help with sweating, things like that. Then go for something like mesh, linen, bamboo, something like that is going to maybe a little bit more comfortable for you. And also just dress your baby appropriately, knowing that you guys are going to be touching bodies. So if you're going to go, say it's, the end of July that we are now, you live somewhere where it's warm, you're going to go outside on a walk. Probably don't put your baby in pants, socks, and a long sleeve, a t-shirt. They're going to get hot. Just go for a simple onesie and a light t-shirt for you. The carrier is going to provide a layer. You guys are touching. So just kind of keep those things in mind. So this is a great question. Can you explain the benefits of baby wearing for bonding and development? Baby wearing's got lots of benefits. I think probably the most obvious one, and the reason that most parents think about baby wearing, is because it's convenient. It allows you to carry your baby and continue to do whatever you want to do in life. It helps you to maintain your lifestyle. It keeps your hands free. You can do the things that you want to do, but you get to keep your baby with you. Some maybe lesser known or less well-known features or benefits of baby wearing is that, yes, we know when we hold our babies, we bond with our babies. Skin to skin has so many benefits: temperature regulation, heart rate regulation. It releases that oxytocin or that love hormone. And skin to skin is applicable even when it's just face to chest. But if you want, you can, you could wear no top and have your baby have no shirt on and do skin to skin in these carriers, because in our carriers, there's nothing between you and baby. There's no barrier from the carrier. So you can absolutely do skin to skin. And I would encourage you to do skin to skin in your carriers. Some other benefits are going to be that, when your baby can hear you, they hear your heartbeat, they hear you talking, that's comforting for them. It's very womb-like for them. And so, of course, that makes life easier when your baby is relaxed and calm and you're relaxed and calm because your baby's close to you, you're holding them. You've also got some early speech development starting because baby is hearing you and feeling the vibrations on your chest. And the muscles that are in their core are being strengthened while they're in this position. Baby wearing is not a replacement for tummy time. I sometimes see that mentioned, and I want to make it clear it's not a replacement, but it does work on some of the same muscles as tummy time. So it's just kind of an extra addition to the work that you're doing when your baby's on tummy time. So while, like I said, a lot of parents do it out of convenience, you're going to get a lot of other benefits from wearing your baby. Plus, you can just just, we as humans, we are wired to want to be close to our baby. Our babies want to be close to us. We want to be close to them. We know that we live in a society today where that sometimes is really, really difficult. We may be working, we have other kids, we've got to do chores, we've got to do all of these things. And so the carrier kind of gives you back that ability to be close to your baby and get all of those other things done. I also found that it was convenient. Like I didn't like lugging like the carrier type car seat around when I went to the store. That was heavy for me. Sometimes a stroller is not always the most realistic transportation option if you're going somewhere that's maybe really busy or has a rough terrain. So you're getting lots of benefits there. I see some requests for demos. I only have 5 more minutes here on the stage, but I will be right to my booth after and we'll do demos there. Is the mesh soft or comfortable? Yeah, the mesh is really soft and really comfortable. Similar to like the mesh that's in athletic wear, it's really, really flexible. It's not scratchy. It's not rough. It's soft on your skin and baby skin. The pros and cons of a wrap versus a carrier, truly personal preference. So one, a carrier is going to get you a soft structured carrier like this versus a stretchy wrap. So if I'm just talking about what Ergo has, you're going to get more, a longer wear time, longer usage out of a soft structured carrier. We're going 7 to 45 pounds in a soft structured. We're going 7 or 8 to 25 pounds in the wrap. The wrap is real snuggly. You're not going to have any pressure, no buckles, no waistband, no straps. It's really soft, snuggly, comfortable. It only does one wearing position. Your soft structured carrier is going to be a little bit more bulk, but you're going to get 3 or 4 wearing positions depending on the type of carrier. So both are comfortable, both are great. You just have to decide what fits your lifestyle and your needs the very best. Baby wearing while pregnant, as long as you can carry the child. So like if you have a toddler and you're pregnant, as long as your doctor has cleared you to carry your toddler, you could wear them while you were pregnant. If you're starting to get a more noticeable bump, you can decide if you want to wear either on top of the bump or under the bump. That is personal preference. But as long as your as long as your doctor has cleared you to carry the child you want to wear, you can wear them while pregnant. Let's see. So this is a great question. I have an Ergobaby carrier from 10 years ago and loved it. Would it still be safe to use with this baby? I feel like the quality is great. I would say after thorough inspection, yes. Just make sure that all your buckles are still in good condition, that your mesh or your webbing is still good, that all the seams are still tight. If that's the case, then yeah, I agree with you that these carriers are of very, very high quality. They last a really long time. And older carriers are broken in and soft and snuggly, and they are really, really wonderful. Let's see. I probably have time for one more question. Let's see if there's like a good one in here. Okay, I'll answer this last. And then, like I said, we can hop to my booth for more conversation, demos, things like that. What is it safe to do while carrying? So anything that you would do holding your baby in your arms, you can do in this carrier. So walking, kind of gentle hiking, light hiking, gentle exercise, light exercise. So, walks, maybe there are some like on the internet, you can find baby wearing workouts that have like maybe some basic, like squats or turns or things like that. If you wouldn't hold your baby doing it, then you wouldn't wear them. So we're not getting on a bicycle. We're not getting in a car, not running, no treadmills. If your hike is really intensive, I would just consider your skill level, like, those kinds of things. So you just have to use, your best judgment. Would I do this while I was holding my baby? If so, then you can carry them in the carrier. Let's see. I think maybe I have time for one more. Oh, is there a way to breastfeed in the carrier? Yes, absolutely. You can breastfeed or chest feed if that's what you're choosing to do in the carrier. Depending on the type of carrier, you're just going to make some slight adjustments to your wearing position. So if I was doing it in the Omni, I'm going to just decide what side I'm going to feed on. So say I'm feeding on my left side, I'm going to go ahead and let the slack out on that side, shift my baby down, allow them to latch, while they are actively feeding, they can be in this position. As soon as they break that latch, fall asleep, whatever, we're going to boost them back up to that close enough to kiss position. I will say in my experience that tiny brand new babies, especially as we're still learning to breast or chest feed, we're still getting the hang of latching, things like that, it can feel a little bit frustrating to try to feed in the carrier just because you still need so many kind of hands and assistance. So the more confident you are and baby is in their latch, the easier it is to wear in the carrier. I don't say that to be discouraging, just to give a realistic expectation. I would hate for somebody to try and feed and then it's frustrating and they never want to try it again. So for me, about 6-ish weeks, my babies are kind of at this point where we can do that. And also I'm at a point where I'm ready to actually like feed outside of my house. But you can definitely try it before. And, some more experienced parents may have luck earlier, or some really good babies who catch on to that latch really quick may as well. But my time here is up. So again, my name is Erin. I'm going to just take a quick break, get a drink of water, and then I'll be in my booth in the expo. So come see me there. We'll talk about all the carriers, pricing, do demos, continue any of these conversations. And then once I break from that, I'll try to come back to the stage and respond to any questions that I missed. But I appreciate you spending some time with me this afternoon, and I will see you soon.